Hello everyone, MCon here, bringing you another episode of our Dragon Age 2 Let's Play. Out on the Wounded Coast, I went ahead and came back this way for that little bit of unexplored area we had, and found some glitter dust. So glitter dust is the powdered form of a rock found along the Wounded Coast. When explorers brought the sparkling rock to the markets of the Free Marches, it became immediately popular among wealthy ladies, who crushed it and applied the powder to their faces. The added brightness and luster to the skin, however, soon paled in comparison to the developing rash and coughing fits. As it turned out, glitter dust is dangerous if ingested or inhaled. It's also extremely flammable, as several ladies discovered after powdering their hair while standing next to a candle. Whoops! Unfortunately, this resulted in a dozen deaths by conflagration. Okay then. These days, glitter dust is used sparingly, and only by experienced alchemists. The most common form of the substance is volatile glitter dust. If gathered from caves where darkspawn dwell, the rock produces a powder known as tainted glitter dust. Alright. Good to know. Don't use glitter dust as makeup. Check. And we're ready to head out. Okay. Oh, why not? We'll check out Sundermount. The Long Way Home quest that we've got up there. That's where we're delivering Flemeth's amulet. And I feel like she got us out of Ferelden. It'd be a good idea to get her task completed as quick as we can. Before something bad would happen. Not that something bad would happen, but something bad would totally happen. Oh, yeah, that was a nice bash. Alright, hello. We'll just slam an assault into you. And I don't like you at my back. There we go. Well done. Now for that archer. Whoosh. Follow up. There we go. I like... Oh, wow. 51 points of damage. How do you manage that, Aveline? Like, we've got pretty much the same stuff. Yeah, extra dexterity. Okay, so that's a rogue stuff. And I can't wear it. Not with my present stats. So that's just grand. Alright. This place doesn't look forbidding at all. Hello, little elf fruit. Come join my crafting supplies. What's this? This is Dalish camp entrance. We've come to the right place. Hello, Dalish hunters.
Old Shemlin, you're kind and not welcome among the Dalish.
Oh my goodness, the Dalish are Irish now. Tell me more.
What's a Shemlin?
An elven slur for human.
Whoa there.
It means you're not one of the people, and you should leave now.
Really now?
Who are you people?
We are the last of the Elven.
Keep that in mind, Hawk. Elves you see elsewhere, figments of your imagination.
They have given up their identity to live among Shemlin. They're elven no more.
Well.
I was given an amulet for someone named Marathari.
How do you know that name?
Wait.
I just
This
told
is
you
the one
how.
the Keeper spoke of.
A Shemlin? I thought he'd be an elf.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marathari has been waiting for you.
Okay.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
I'm sure I will.
Marathari. I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marathari. Let me look at you.
You're already looking at me.
There is a light in your heart, human. Don't let it go out. You will need it. Tell me how this burden fell to you, child.
Actually, I'd like to know a little bit more about you at the moment.
Your guards said you spoke of me. How did you know I was coming?
I listened. To the wind, to the birds, as the hunters do, to my dreams. I watched the stars. There is great wisdom to be found all around us, if you know how to listen for it. But I was not certain. Nothing is certain.
Are you the leader of these Dalish? Why did the witch tell me to bring this amulet to you?
I am the keeper of this clan. It is my task to guide my people and to ensure the old ways are not forgotten. As for Asha Belenar, I am tied to her, just as you are, by a debt that must be repaid.
Interesting.
Exactly what have I been carrying around? Is it magic?
It is a promise, child, made by one whose word still has weight. And therefore, it has terrible power. There are few things in this world stronger than a promise kept. Remember that.
Okay, I think we've investigated all that. Well,
A dragon fell from the sky, charred some darkspawn, then asked me to bring you this amulet. No big deal.
You are blessed by luck, then. I will pray that Mithal watches over your path. The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain.
of course it must.
And given a Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
Are you going to teach me this rite for the departed?
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done. And when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
Wait, what?
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper. But she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
Definitely weird.
That seems a little odd.
It is her wish, and I must grant it. You will find Meryl waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shiral.
Okay then. Dalish are quite the odd bunch. The Tale of Ilorin. In the days after the rising of Zazakel, the Dark Ones covered every corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Elfheen alike. In the far north, where the hills wander the plains, and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands which the Shemlin call Anderfells, a clan of our people lived, struggling to survive the blight. Ilorin was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the Darkspawn who chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hala cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Mardane, the Darkspawn cornered Ilorin's clan. That night the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked. But Ilorin had prepared for them. All around the camp the hunters had strewn dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Ilorin and the other Harhen called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their target all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Ilorin's clan. From The Tale of Ilorin, written by Zathrian, as it has been passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. Cool. That was written by Zathrian. He was the keeper of the Dalish elves back in Ferelden. That was nice.
We have our bows trained on you, Shemlin. Conduct your business with the Keeper quickly.
Really?
A Shemlin? My wonders never cease.
Look, it's not like I'm an elephant or something. Gosh. Valaslin, blood writing. After my encounter with the Dalish elves on the road to Navarra, I studied every book on the elves I could find. I sought out legends and myths and histories and tried to make sense of it all, but there is only so much one can learn from books. I knew that in order to truly understand the Dalish, I would have to seek them out, a dreadful idea in hindsight. In my defense, I was young. and also inebriated when the idea popped into my head. Unfortunately, even after I had regained some measure of sobriety, the idea still held appeal. It proved remarkably resistant to my attempts to ignore it. I gave in after months of that nagging thought at the back of my head and set out to learn about the Dalish firsthand. I tramped through the forest bordering Orlais for weeks before I finally found, or was found by, a Dalish hunter. I stumbled into one of his traps and suddenly was hanging from a tree with a rope about my ankles. So there I was, defenseless, upside down with my robe over my head, and my underclothes on display. Descriptions of my predicament might elicit laughter these days, but trust me when I say that it was a situation I would not wish on anyone. Thankfully, my ridiculous appearance may have caused my captor to stay his hand. What threat is a silly human with his pants showing? And so he sat, made a small fire, and began to skin the deer he had caught. I soon mustered the courage to speak. I tried to assure him that I was not there to harm him, but he laughed at this and replied that if I were there to harm him, I had failed terribly. Eventually, we got to talking, and when I say talking, I mean that I asked him questions, and occasionally he would deign to answer. He told me that while some Dalish actively seek out human travelers to rob or frighten, most of his people would rather be left alone. He seemed to believe that punishing the humans for past actions only led to more violence. I asked him about the intricate tattoos on his face. He told me they were called Valaslin, blood writing. His were symbols of Andril the Huntress, one of the most highly revered elven goddesses. He said the Dalish mark themselves to stand out from humans, and from those of their kin who have chosen to live under human rule. He said the Valaslin reminded his people that they must never again surrender their beliefs. When he finished skinning the deer, he cut me down. By the time I had righted myself and conquered the dizziness of all the blood rushing out of my head, he was gone. I do not recommend that my readers seek out the Dalish for themselves. I was very lucky to have met the man that I did and to have walked away from our meeting unscathed. Perhaps the Maker watches over those who seek knowledge with an open heart. I certainly would like to think so. Thank you, Brother Genetivi. Alright. Server connection lost?
If you can't tell what it is, then it's rubbish.
Ooh. Clan Craftsman.
Oh,
You sound very useful.
it's a little flat for a bowl, perhaps?
Told you so.
Let's learn about Arlathan. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their traditions, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction could last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber, but this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in the dreams. In those ages, our people called the land Elvhenan, which in the old language means place of our people. And at the center of the world stood the great city of Arlathan, a place of knowledge and debate, where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, greet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forests and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalan to the north. Called Shemlin, or Quicklings by the ancients, the humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases, and for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging, tainted by the humans' brash and impatient lives. Many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives, and cast them down among the Quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the way humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Elvenhan off from the humans, for fear that this quickening effect would crumble the civilization. Interesting. Alright. Anything useful here? Ah, okay. So you let me buy and sell. Long touch, that's a bow. Okay. Two-handed battle axe. Nope. I no longer need the blade. Don't need the cudgel. We can get rid of all of these longbows and the staves. Alright. That was easy. Flint Company cuirass, I cannot wear. Plate armor, I'm keeping around just in case. The gloves, I cannot use. The field boots are outdated. Oh, right, I should take that. 2 extra attribute points. Nothing there. And then we can sell all junk, which didn't net us that much. Alright. So, mostly you just had the stuff that I sold, but robes, okay. Headwear, can we get robes for Bethany? Nope, restricted to me. Well, that just stinks. Nope. Silverite threaded gloves, nope. Elven gauntlets, a little bit more armor, those would be worth it. Boots of the Isolationist, can't use. Fraud and field boots are the ones I sold, so okay. Let's go ahead and grab the Elven Gauntlets, I suppose. And I'll have that at least. Dirthaman's Secret. Okay. Just a plain ring for attack, and then belt for defense. We'll leave those for the moment. Rune of Nature. Interesting. Alright.
Make your business here.
So we need to equip the Elven Gauntlets. There we go.
I assure you.
Okay, this way appears to be the Lady Merrill, the first. Merrill, the keeper's
The guards
first.
don't come this far out. It's better for both sides.
You don't say. Looks like a mine over there. Alright,
You show
let's...
admirable restraint, Bethany.
For a mage, you mean?
I could
Ooh.
also say for a hawk. But yes,
Ha!
a mage.
You have a sword. Why aren't you killing someone right now?
Fair point. But I can put my sword down.
Whoa! Hello. I hate spiders.
Believe me, I have tried.
Nice job on the rain of arrows, though. Come on, one more. There we go. Alright, assault. I don't want you around any longer than you have to be. Ugh. Come on. There we go. And this one. Shield bash him. There we go. Good job.
You made it.
Okay, thank you. And then doesn't look like there's anything of worth over this way. Alright, then let's go meet up with Merrill and see what she's got to say. Oh, thought I'd be able to scale that. I got used to Inquisition's movement system. You know, where you can press space to jump instead of pause time. And kind of scale mountains that way. Or at least small hills. Just what are you hiding?
Oh, I didn't hear. You must be the one the keeper told me about. Anethera.
I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it?
Oh boy.
I'm Merrill. Which you probably knew already. I'm rambling, sorry.
My name is Hawk. Glad to make your acquaintance, Merrill.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not very experienced with your kind. The Keeper said you came from Ferelden. I spent most of my life there. We only came north a few years ago. Have you been in the Free Marches long? Do you like it here?
Well, it could be worse.
I miss the cold and the dirt. Kirkwall's not brown enough for me. But hey, no darkspawn.
Ferelden wasn't that brown. The dirt and muck gave it character. We should go. Your task is for Asha Bellinar. It's not wise to make her wait.
Okay, let's learn more about this.
What do we have to do with the amulet?
It's a funeral of sorts. I'll perform it when we get to the mountaintop. Getting there is the tricky part. Our hunters haven't been able to reach the summit. Dark things are about.
Is that so?
Do you know the witch who sent me here?
No, not personally. My people tell stories of her, though. You're very lucky. Most people who meet Ashbel wind up in little pieces, hanging from the trees.
Great.
I take it you've been expecting me to bring this amulet for some time.
The Keeper brought us here to wait for you. I don't know much more than that. I do know that you have Ashbel amulet, and we must bring it to the altar on the mountaintop. Nothing more.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's get this over with.
Okay. Would you like to lead the way, Meryl? Or, you know, hello. Corpse, huh? Guess I'll just take care of that. Oh, come on. Those arrows should be taking him out. There we go. Ugh, more of them. Okay. There we go. Excellent. Oh, come on. There you are. And shield bash. Well done.
The Keeper didn't mention you were a mage.
All Keepers know a bit of old magic. The stories tell us that all Elven once had the gift. But like so many things, it was lost. It's a Keeper's job to remember, to restore what we can.
Can't demons possess Dalish mages?
It can happen. And when it does, the clan must hunt and kill their own Keeper.
Doesn't sound too pleasant.
Does the Chantry know about the Dalish mages?
Oh, they know. Keeper Marathari told me that was one of the reasons we never camped too long in one place. They usually won't pursue us if we stay away from the cities and towns and keep moving.
Huh.
And no one minds having to pick up and move over and over just to protect a few of you.
Why would they mind? Once we've picked over a hunting ground, there's no reason to stay. But my clan is now in more danger, having lost our Hala.
Really?
If you go to Kirkwall, you'll be an apostate in a city full of Templars.
I know. But if I don't go to Kirkwall, I'll be alone. A solitary elf is easy prey for anyone. In the city, I can get lost in the crowd.
Okay. Well.
I'm glad you decided to pitch in back there.
Oh. Oh, you're welcome. I wasn't sure I'd be much good. I've done a little fighting before, but it was always alone. I'll try not to hit anyone. On our side, I mean. I'm babbling again. Let's go.
Alrighty. Well, welcome aboard, Meryl. It's good to have you. But, guys, this is an excellent place for us to go ahead and end the episode. So, thank you all very much for coming along with me. And until next time, bye all.